Hi folks, today we're going to talk about viruses and bacteria. First off, let's talk about the life cycle of bacteria. Bacteria are prokaryotic cells, which means they don't have a nucleus, and they can affect our bodies in many ways. They reproduce quickly and they mutate easily. There are three basic shapes to bacteria. We can have the bacillus, which looks like a rod, the coccus, which looks like a sphere, or the spirillus, which is a spiral shape. There are both good and bad types of bacteria. Bad bacteria makes you sick, for example streptococcus, which gives you strep throat, but good bacteria helps our body to digest and fight off different fungus, like yeast. Most of the time, our immune system does a lot of the fighting against bacteria. Sometimes it needs help though, so we take antibiotics. Most antibiotics are broad-spectrum antibiotics, which means they kill both good and bad types of bacteria. So while we do get rid of the bad bacteria when we take antibiotics, it can also kill the good bacteria. And that good bacteria being gone can lead to other infections like a yeast infection or a rough time with digestion. Scientists have also used bacteria in a number of types of research settings. They're very easy to grow in a petri dish in a lab, so they're very easy to study. Some people are currently studying a way to use bacteria to clean up oil spills from oceans. Viruses are not actually alive. They're only alive when they're inside of a living plant or animal. All viruses have genetic information, or DNA or RNA, wrapped in a protein coating, which is called a capsid. Viruses can mutate, ensuring its own survival. So while a virus is in your body, it can change its form and change its DNA in order to not be killed by your immune system. Viruses are as simple as the common cold and as complex as HIV. There are two basic life cycles for a cell. We have the lytic cycle, where the virus comes into a cell and inserts its DNA. It grows little baby viruses, and then it leaves the cell with a whole bunch of viruses being produced, and that happens pretty quickly. We also have the lysogenic cycle, which is much slower, where a virus goes in, inserts its DNA in with the cell's DNA, and then when that cell duplicates and multiplies through mitosis, it duplicates the virus's DNA too. And then eventually, the virus can take over those cells and cause a lot of problems. We can't really treat a virus, we can only treat the symptoms of a virus. Unlike a bacterial infection where you can take antibiotics and get rid of the bacteria, viruses are a little harder to get rid of. One common way that we use to deal with viruses is to take a vaccine before we get one. This helps us to build up our immune system and be prepared for viruses like the flu. Once you contract a virus, you have to just ride it out. We usually take a symptom-reducing medicine like Tylenol or NyQuil when we have the flu. Some symptoms are easy to treat, like with the cold. But with HIV, it's really hard to treat those symptoms because there's a lot going on with that. Viruses are used for research too. Scientists are using them for gene therapy. They can also be used as pesticides, but if you're not careful, the virus could kill off an entire species and could end up ruining a whole ecosystem.